You're probably wondering, Jojo, why do you have so many feastable bars? And that's a good question. I feel like as a content creator who is lucky enough and as blessed as I am to be able to make videos every single day for an audience who looks after me, that if I've associated my name with a brand who, let's be honest, at this point has been accused of virtually every reprehensible act, ranging from promoting gambling to borderline illegal stuff like promoting illegal lotteries and virtually hiring sex offenders into their management team, that to me, it's just obvious that I would tell my audience the truth and separate myself from that sort of environment. Because as a content creator, your relationship with your audience is predicated on trust and is built on authenticity. And the second you lose that as a content creator, you lose everything because your audience doesn't see you as a real person anymore. Even if it affects the potential collaborations or opportunities that I might get down the line with other brands or creators, I'm willing to sacrifice those so long as it means I'm able to be authentic and truthful with my audience, because I don't believe that is worth it. And if I've associated my name or promoted the MrBeast brand in any capacity in any of my videos, then the last thing that I want to be viewed as is something called as controlled opposition. What exactly is controlled opposition? Controlled opposition can be defined as an individual or an organization who appears to be on one side but acts within the interests of the other. And there is no greater personification of this idea than with Ludwig, which really sucks because I'm a huge fan of Ludwig. I've been a channel member of his for many years. I have been a huge fan of his gaming content and his live streams, but watching Ludwig especially navigate through this entire drama and issue with the MrBeast company over the past few weeks has got to be some of the most insufferable content I think I've ever seen. And don't take my word for it, take his audience's word for it. Ludwig or Mogul Mail or other commentary channels which are predicated towards covering the most recent topics and dramas in the community, but the second it has anything to do with MrBeast or YouTube's golden boy, they either fence it, have no actual opinion, don't address any of the allegations when they react to the videos, or straight up have god-awful takes. And look, I'm not totally unsympathetic towards Ludwig's situation. I can only imagine how difficult it is for him because MrBeast is Ludwig's friend. Ludwig is featured as a contestant in many of MrBeast's videos. MrBeast is featured in Ludwig's videos, shorts, TikToks, live streams, and so I can only imagine how difficult it is for Ludwig. However, when it has literally got to do with the #1 most influential person in the entire world on the internet, especially when it's got to do with children, and you don't address those allegations, especially when you are presenting like you're going to the same capacity even remotely as you would for other internet drama, you cannot exactly blame your audience for thinking or perceiving you as controlled opposition.
Did you work on that video? Or are you going off the video?
You are controlled opposition.
In this video, I'm going to be covering 2 different live streams from Ludwig, both of which reacting to a different Dogpack 404 video. And I've got to say, it is probably some of the most difficult stuff I've sat through and watched, aside from XQC. Aside from the whole commentary channel fence-sitting meme that Moist Critical and Ludwig oftentimes get criticized of doing, Ludwig actually just does that in these 2 live streams. And if he doesn't, he makes some of the strangest, most bizarre, borderline sociopathic takes. Ludwig made a live stream called Does MrBeast Fake Videos? And then only after his audience started getting really frustrated with him continuously starting and stopping and pausing the video did he then add or change the title to Lots of Pauses. A lot of people were interested and keen to hear Ludwig's take on this entire MrBeast situation because, well, Ludwig has made it apparently obvious that he's a close friend of MrBeast and that he has made many videos together with him. And so as someone who is sort of on the inside of that whole situation, despite the fact he might not know the minutiae and the, brass tacks details, if he's set the precedent of being a commentary channel who was scrutinized and investigated as a journalist would sometimes other situations that were controversial, people were naturally, especially his audience, expecting for him to, maybe not with the same degree of impartial scrutiny, but to at least address some of those allegations because there are some pretty damning things that Dogpack said in the first video at least. Now, instead of actually addressing the serious allegations to do with promoting gambling for children and illegal lotteries, Ludwig spends commentary towards how Dogpack 404 knew MrBeast had staged his 7 days out at sea and how Dogpack could verify that MrBeast was on a yacht or not, which completely just is not the point of the video. The real meat and potatoes of Dogpack 404's first MrBeast exposed video is really talking about more so the illegal lotteries and the gambling promotion to children. And by the time Ludwig gets to those points of the allegations, well, I'll just let the clips speak for themselves.
In 30 seconds is going to win.
In 5 minutes, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to put $1,000 in a random order. Hey, Daryl, don't we owe someone $1,000?
Yeah, Monopoly, the game is boring, but Monopoly at the grocery store is fun. I don't know if you've ever played it, because you got to collect them all.
We do.
Yeah.
Look at Doug's stream real quick.
Prize where you have to buy something is still an illegal lottery, which obviously MrBeast knows this, but you know, he's a poker player. He likes a little bluffery, a little plausible deniability.
Nah, but hey, MrBeast ass at poker, I'll tell you that. Yeah, you're trying to false. Okay? I lost to the guy one time. He went all in every hand. He's a luck box.
For those of you who are just joining, if you buy one of our limited edition 40 mil special shirts, we're celebrating 40 million subscribers with a really big video.
When did he have 40 million subscribers? That is... What's crazy is 40 million is 10 times me, almost, and he has 10 times that.
What does this literally have anything to do with the video, mate? I understand, and look, Ludwig even clarified at the end of the stream the whole point was to sort of bait the drama frogs, to just sort of farm the free views and stuff like that. And look, I respect the hustle fundamentally, but I feel like of all times to troll like that, this was by far the least most opportune time to do so, because it is at the cost and detriment of how you are perceived by the community. You've associated yourself with this person in multiple occasions. You've been in one of the most recent videos. You've had them on your channel in multiple different formats. So of all times to troll like this, I don't know why you thought it was a good idea to do it now. Again, don't take my word for it. Just read any of these comments that I'm showing right here. This is the majority of the public opinion sentiment. It's definitely one of the most insufferable live streams I've had to sit through. And, well, naturally, me and his audience thought as we were watching this live, well, if he's not reacting to it or actually giving some insightful scrutiny or commentary, then perhaps towards the end of the video, he'll then actually make his take. Of course, he didn't do that. He just then pivots and goes straight into reacting to Moist Critical's video, which was disappointing to say the least.
Kendrick just dropped? No way. Pause. No way. That was a weird outro. All right. I want to watch this video too.
Watching this 4.5 live stream unironically made me want to sit on a cactus and rotate on it sideways. But the second live stream that I just watched Ludwig made, reacting to Dogpack's second video, which is essentially just an interview with Jake, a former MrBeast employee, and his mental, emotional, and physical abuse that he had experienced on the set of filming the solitary confinement video that never ended up getting published, unironically made me want to blowtorch my nutsack. Now, unlike the first stream where Ludwig pretty much has no takes, this second one, he does have some, but they are probably some of the most detached from reality, borderline sociopathic takes I've ever heard. At about the 1.5 hour mark towards this live stream, when Jake is talking about his abuse that he had suffered from this challenge, Ludwig unironically makes a take, Jake, who bear in mind at this point is sleep deprived, they haven't turned off the lights whatsoever, he's had no exposure to sunlight, has been in solitary confinement, has had to deal with awful putrid smells of tubs and dairy products and paint fumes. Ludwig actually makes the take that instead of MrBeast making the challenge for Jake to run a marathon out of nowhere, he should have instead made the challenge for, if he wins it, that MrBeast would actually then turn the lights off. Which is an insane, detached take to have.
The pay thing makes sense. The bigger thing that they shouldn't have done is made him run a marathon and then kept the lights on. Like, that to me is the things that were wrong. Right? Like, turn the lights off, have some way. Because, like, usually in MrBeast videos, if there's something that a competitor struggles with, that then becomes the next thing he offers as, like, a way to detract money, and it becomes part of it. And it's what they do in, like, Survivor or other shows. You know, like in Survivor when they're not eating for a while, Jeff then comes up with a bag of rice that they play for or whatever that they can split. And so they adapt to how the person is struggling. So they should have done that with the light, obviously. And then not made him run the marathon.
This is literally illegal on international law. Like, you're straight up breaking the Geneva Convention. What's going on? Like, you can't even do this stuff to terrorists, as they say in the video. How is this the take that you're making? And the comparison to, like, actually professionally produced TV shows like Survivor are inappropriate on all fronts, because those shows, as I said, are professionally produced with a safety team and HR and all of these facilities to ensure the contestants are being taken care of. And the other take that Ludwig had said several times in the stream was, well, if he was having trouble, he could have walked away from this challenge whenever he wanted. He could have just stepped away. I mean, it's his decision at the end of the day. He didn't have to be there.
I empathize with the difficulty of the challenge, but ultimately you know what the challenge is when you go into it. And I think you can walk, right?
And it just clearly shows that Ludwig has no grasp or understanding on the situation whatsoever. The fact that this guy, Jake, was literally pressured to be there by the entire team. The amount of pressure that he had felt from the fact that MrBeast has obviously spent tons of money on the project, on the employees, setting up everything, filming, the crew. And it's just totally just shows that he has no grasp, that there's a very human element to this. And it's that Jake went there for $300,000 not to be tortured. He went there to try and have some fun, do some bits, be the main character in a video. He didn't sign up to be tortured. And obviously not wanting to let down an entire production company who has spent a month, 30 days building the set and everything. The fact that Ludwig or his chat for some reason cannot grasp that is mind-blowing, to say the least. So either Ludwig will have no takes and just react to the video and read super chats like some vegetable, or he will provide some of the worst, most borderline sociopathic takes imaginable. Honestly, Ludwig, please just stick to the gaming streams. They're fire. Just let me and some of your other OG fans know when you're back to just streaming just good content and gameplay stuff. Just a little bit of context quickly while we're here talking about the situation with my experience with the MrBeast brand or Feastables, albeit brief. About a month ago, MrBeast came to Australia in promotion of his chocolates, debuting here, where he was giving out Lamborghinis and other sort of cars at the Sydney Opera House. Winners were somehow randomly selected. We all thought that you scan the QR codes and then a winner is selected after playing the slot machines or the gambling machine, which is straight up, first of all, just like bizarre as children are playing this. But there's no like, the laws here for participating in lotteries in Australia is different from what you guys have in the States. Anyways, I got me and my boys, we raided our local Woolworths. I spent about $1,500 to $2,000 on Feastables, which I look like a clown now. We ended up coming back to my place. We scanned like literally 2,000 chocolate bars. None of us ended up winning. We played the slot machines for literally 4.5 hours. And like everyone else did on social media, you can check, we all thought that the way to win it was getting 3 Lamborghinis in a row. And after 4 hours, we actually ended up doing so. But it ended up being the fact and the case that the slot machine game was in no way indicative of whether or not you were a winner. In fact, winners were selected in an entirely different process to which we still don't really know how that was done. So I just don't understand why even have this whole game to give the false hope and to give kids and other people like myself, even I got fooled, the idea that we would just have to keep playing these slot machines if winners were selected in an entirely different fashion. Since then, I've removed my TikTok and my Instagram reel promoting Feastables. I had no idea just to the extent that which this went and how deep it went, so I apologize for doing anything like that. That is my bad, and I take accountability for that. Thank you for watching, and now I have all these Feastable bars here and no one wants them because everyone is seeing Dogpack's video, and all my mates, when they would come over, they would just take a Feastable bar, but now no one wants them. So now I'm just stuck with literally like a lifetime worth of chocolate and I have nothing to do with it. Mad. See ya.